In 1603, during the final days of the Warring States period, a young samurai named Takeshi stood before his dying master with a question that would haunt him for years. Master Nobunaga, I've trained for 10 years. My technique is flawless. My sword is sharp. But when I face real danger, my body betrays me. My hands shake. My breath becomes shallow. My mind scatters. Why do I fail when it matters most? The old master, blood seeping through bandages from his final battle, smiled weakly. Because you've mastered the sword, but not your energy. The enemy you fear most isn't the man with the blade. It's the chaos inside your own mind. With his last breath, Master Nobunaga whispered a principle that would transform Takeshi from a fearful warrior into a legend. Energy flows where attention goes. Control your focus. Control your power. Scatter your focus. Scatter your life. This is the samurai law of energy. And here's what nobody tells you. This principle isn't ancient history. It's the exact reason you're exhausted, anxious, and achieving nothing despite working constantly. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just leaking energy in 1,000 directions without realizing it. Before I tell you how Takeshi discovered this secret and completely transformed his life, I want you to do something. Comment below, how many things are you trying to focus on right now? Work projects, relationship problems, health goals, financial stress, social media notifications. Count them. Because that number is killing you. Now, let me show you what the samurai knew about energy that will change everything. Chapter 1, The Warrior Who Couldn't Fight. Takeshi was 24 years old when his master died. A decade of training. Hundreds of hours of kata practice. Thousands of strikes. His sword technique was poetry in motion during practice. But put him in a real confrontation, and he collapsed. It started during sparring sessions. Takeshi would face opponents of equal skill, and his mind would fragment. What if I lose? Everyone is watching. My stance isn't perfect. Did I lock the door to my quarters? Father would be disappointed. My shoulder hurts. Is that bird call a warning sign? 7 different thoughts. 7 energy leaks. By the time his opponent struck, Takeshi was already defeated not by the sword, but by his own scattered mind. The other samurai noticed. Whispers spread through the dojo. Takeshi has the form of a master and the spirit of a child. All that talent, wasted on a mind that won't settle. He'll never survive real combat. After Master Nobunaga's death, the dojo was absorbed into a larger clan. Takeshi became one of 50 samurai serving Lord Hidaki, a powerful daimyo controlling 3 provinces. His first assignment came within a week: escort duty. A merchant caravan traveling through bandit territory. Simple, routine, perfect for a young samurai. Except nothing about it felt simple to Takeshi. The night before the mission, he couldn't sleep. His mind raced. What if we're ambushed? What if I freeze? What if the other samurai see my weakness? What if I die and dishonor my master's memory? Each thought pulled energy in a different direction. By morning, Takeshi was exhausted before the mission even began. Chapter 2, The Ambush That Changed Everything. The caravan moved through mountain passes on the 3rd day. 12 merchants, 4 samurai guards, and 200 pounds of silk and pottery. Takeshi rode at the rear, eyes scanning the tree line. But his attention wasn't focused, it was fragmented across a dozen concerns. Did I check all the horses properly? The lead samurai doesn't respect me. My sword grip feels wrong. Mother would worry if she knew where I was. That cloud looks like it might rain. Then the bandits struck. 20 men emerged from the forest. Not random thieves organized running, masterless samurai turned outlaw. They moved with precision, surrounding the caravan. The lead bandit, a scarred man wielding 2 swords, smiled. Drop your weapons. Give us the goods. Nobody needs to die today. The senior samurai, a veteran named Kazuo, stepped forward. His voice was iron. We serve Lord Hideki. Touch this caravan and you touch him. The bandit laughed. Lord Hideki is 2 days away. We're here now. What happened next took 3 seconds. The bandits attacked. Kazuo and the 2 other samurai moved instantly, smooth, decisive, lethal. Their focus was absolute. Their energy concentrated like a laser. Takeshi. His mind exploded into 1,000 pieces. They're attacking. Where should I position myself? Did Kazuo want me to guard the merchants or fight? That bandit is faster than me. I'm going to die. I'm going to fail. Everyone will see. A blade appeared in front of his face. Takeshi's body moved on instinct, muscle memory from 10,000 hours of practice. He parried, barely. But the bandit saw it, the scattered energy in Takeshi's eyes, the fractured attention, the fear rippling across his face. You're not even here, the bandit sneered, pressing the attack. He was right. Takeshi was simultaneously worrying about the other samurai's opinions, replaying his master's teachings, calculating escape routes, and wondering if this was how he'd die, divided, distracted, defeated by his own mind. The bandit's second strike cut through his defense. The blade sliced Takeshi's shoulder, not deep, but enough. Blood flowed. Pain bloomed. Then Kazuo was there, his sword a blur. The bandit fell. The fight ended. The bandits retreated after losing half their number. The caravan survived. But Takeshi had failed. Chapter 3. The Veteran's Teaching. That night, the caravan made camp. A doctor stitched Takeshi's shoulder. The physical wound was minor. The psychological wound was devastating. Takeshi sat apart from the others, drowning in shame. He had trained for a decade. He had dedicated his life to the warrior path. And in his first real test, he had crumbled. Kazuo approached, carrying 2 cups of sake. Drink, the veteran said, sitting beside him. They drank in silence. Finally, Kazuo spoke. Your technique is excellent. I watched you train at the dojo. You could beat half the samurai in Lord Hideki's service in a controlled match. Takeshi said nothing. But today, you weren't fighting 1 opponent. You were fighting 20. There were 20 bandits, Takeshi said quietly. No, you were fighting 20 different versions of yourself. 20 different thoughts, fears, concerns, all screaming for attention simultaneously. Each one pulling your energy in a different direction. Kazuo poured more sake. Do you know what I was thinking when they attacked? Takeshi shook his head. Nothing. My mind was empty. I saw the threat. I responded. That's all. No fear about dying. No concern about looking good. No replay of past failures or future worries. Just, enemy here, sword there, move now. How? The question came out as a whisper. Kazuo studied him. Have you heard of Kaim energy management? The concept, yes. But I thought it was mystical, spiritual. It is. And it isn't. Kazuo set down his cup. Energy is real. You feel it every day. Some days you wake up ready to conquer the world. Other days you can barely get out of bed. Same body. Same circumstances. Different energy. He continued. The samurai discovered a law about energy. It's simple, but most warriors take years to understand it. Energy flows where attention goes. Teichi frowned. I don't understand. Your attention is a stream of water. When you focus it in one direction, it becomes a river, powerful, directed, capable of moving mountains. When you scatter it in 20 directions, it becomes puddles, weak, ineffective, evaporating in the sun. Kazuo leaned forward. Today, your attention was scattered. Part of you was fighting. Part was worrying about your reputation. Part was remembering your dead master. Part was calculating odds. Part was feeling your wounded shoulder before it was even wounded. 20 puddles. No river. So how do I change that? That, Kazuo said, standing, is what I'm going to teach you. If you're willing to learn. Chapter 4. The First Principle, Singular Focus. Training began the next morning. But it wasn't sword training. It was attention training. Kazuo handed Teichi a candle. Sit. Watch the flame. Nothing else exists. Not your thoughts. Not your shoulder pain. Not your shame about yesterday. Just the flame. For how long? Until you understand. Teichi sat. He stared at the flame. 30 seconds in, his mind wandered. This is ridiculous. I should be practicing kata. The other samurai probably think. Your attention just left the flame. Kazuo's voice cut through. Bring it back. Teichi refocused. The flame flickered. His mind quieted. For a few seconds. Then, my leg is cramping. How long have I been sitting? Is this actually? Again, back to the flame. This continued for an hour. Each time Teichi's attention drifted, Kazuo called it out. Each time, Teichi brought it back. It was harder than any physical training he'd ever done. Why is this so difficult? Teichi finally asked, frustrated. Because you've spent 24 years letting your attention go wherever it wants. Now you're trying to control it. It's like taming a wild horse. The horse will fight. You must be patient but firm. Over the next week, as the caravan continued its journey, Kazuo gave Teichi increasingly difficult attention exercises. Day 2, count your breaths. Don't let any other thought enter. When it does, start over at 1. Teichi rarely got past 30 before his mind wandered. Day 3, walk slowly. Feel every sensation. The ground under your feet. The air on your skin. The movement of your muscles. Nothing else. Day 4, eat a meal in complete silence. Taste every bite. Chew slowly. Be present with only the food. Day 5, listen to the sounds around camp. Identifying each one. Birds, wind, conversation, fire crackling. Don't label them. Just hear them. Each exercise taught the same lesson. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Where it goes, your energy follows. Teichi began to notice something profound. On days when his attention was focused, he felt energized despite physical exertion. On days when it scattered, he felt drained despite doing nothing strenuous. The correlation was undeniable. Energy isn't created by rest alone, Kazuo explained. It's created by focus. A scattered mind is an exhausted mind, even if the body is idle. Chapter 5. The Second Principle: Energy Containers. One evening, Kazuo drew a diagram in the dirt. Imagine your total energy as water in a well. Every day, you draw from this well for different activities. But here's what most people don't understand: the buckets matter. He drew several circles of different sizes. This big bucket, that's a major project or goal. It requires significant energy, but it also generates energy when you make progress. This tiny bucket, that's a distraction, checking messages, worrying about things you can't control, rehashing past conversations. It takes energy but gives nothing back. Takshi studied the diagram. So I should eliminate the small buckets. Yes, but more importantly, you need to understand something crucial. Every time you switch your attention between buckets, you leak energy. Kazuo drew lines between the circles. This is the hidden drain nobody talks about. Switching costs. Every time you jump from one concern to another, your mind has to reorient. That reorientation burns energy. He continued. A weak mind tries to fill every bucket every day. Work, relationships, health, money, status, pleasure, dozens of concerns, constantly switching between them. By noon, they're exhausted. By evening, they've accomplished nothing despite being busy all day. And a strong mind picks one bucket, fills it completely, then moves to the next. Not 5 things at once. One thing at a time. Deeply, fully, with complete attention. Takshi thought about his sparring sessions. His mind jumping between technique, fear, reputation, pain, strategy, all simultaneously. No wonder he collapsed. So during the ambush, Takshi said slowly, I should have focused only on the opponent in front of you. That's all. Not the 20 bandits. Not your fear. Not your reputation. Just this opponent, this moment, this strike. One bucket. One focus. All energy flowing in one direction. This clicked something in Takshi's mind. Like a river versus puddles. Exactly. And here's the part that will change your life. This applies to everything. Not just combat. Everything. Chapter 6. The Energy Audit. Kazuo made Takshi do something uncomfortable. Track his attention for an entire day. Write down every time your attention shifts to something new. Every thought. Every concern. Every distraction. Be honest. The results were shocking. In one day, Takshi's attention shifted 147 times to worries about his competence, 89 times to thoughts about what others thought of him, 63 times to replaying past failures, 51 times to imagining future disasters, 43 times to physical discomfort, 38 times to planning things he couldn't control, 27 times to comparing himself to other samurai, 21 times to grief about his dead master, plus hundreds of smaller distractions, sounds, sights, random memories, passing thoughts. Total attention shifts, over 800 in a single day. Do you see it now? Kazuo asked. Takshi stared at the list, horrified. I'm not actually focused on anything. I'm just bouncing between anxieties. Yes, and each bounce leaks energy. By the end of the day, your well is empty. Not because you did anything meaningful. Because you leaked energy through 1,000 tiny cracks. Kazuo pointed to specific categories. These worries about what others think of you, how much energy went there today. Maybe 20% of my mental energy. And did worrying change anything? So you spent 20% of your energy on something that produced zero results. That's not strategy. That's suicide. The word hit hard. A samurai who wastes 20% of his energy before battle starts is already defeated. A samurai who wastes 50% is already dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Kazuo made Teichi categorize every attention shift into one of three types. Type 1 generative, attention that creates energy. Deep work, meaningful practice, present moment awareness, connection with purpose. Type 2 neutral, attention that maintains energy. Rest, simple tasks, necessary maintenance. Type 3 destructive, attention that drains energy. Worry, rumination, comparison, distraction, scattered focus. Teichi's audit revealed a devastating truth. Less than 10% of his daily attention was type 1. More than 60% was type 3. You're operating at a massive energy deficit, Kazuo said. Not because you lack energy, because you're hemorrhaging it constantly. So what do? You become ruthless about where your attention goes. You guard it like you'd guard your life. Because it is your life. Chapter 7, The Practice of Energy Mastery. Over the next month, Kazuo taught Teichi 4 practices that would transform his relationship with energy. Practice 1, the morning lock. Every morning, before doing anything else, you lock your attention on one primary objective for the day. 1, not 10. 1. You write it down. You visualize completing it. You commit your energy to it. Teichi started each morning identifying his single most important task. Not urgent. Not easy. Most important. Some days it was, master the rising katakata. Some days, have one fully present conversation. Some days, remain aware of my breath for 2 hours. The rule was simple. Until that one thing is done, nothing else gets your full attention. Practice 2, the energy boundary. You create boundaries around your attention. Just like a castle has walls to keep enemies out, your mind needs walls to keep distractions out. Kazuo taught Teichi to identify his personal energy vampires, things that always drained him. Comparing himself to others. Replaying conversations. Worrying about uncontrollable outcomes. Seeking validation. Scattered morning routines. For each vampire, Teichi created a specific boundary. I will not compare my progress to anyone else's. I will not replay conversations that are already finished. I will not give attention to things outside my control. When these thoughts arose, and they would Teichi practiced immediate redirection. That's not where my energy goes. Back to the primary objective. Practice 3, the attention return. Your attention will wander. This is guaranteed. The skill isn't preventing wandering. The skill is noticing quickly and returning immediately. Kazuo used the candle flame exercise again, but differently. Now, instead of trying to never lose focus, Teichi's job was to notice the instant his attention wandered and bring it back. 10,000 repetitions. Building the muscle of attention management. This is the real training, Kazuo explained. Warriors think the goal is perfect focus. No, the goal is rapid recovery. Your attention will drift in combat. In life. Always. But the warrior who returns to focus in 1 second defeats the warrior who takes 10 seconds every single time. Practice 4, the evening audit. Every night, Teichi reviewed his day. Where did my energy go? How much went to the primary objective? Where did I leak energy unnecessarily? What will I protect tomorrow? This wasn't about judgment. It was about awareness. The more clearly Takshi could see his energy patterns, the more consciously he could direct them. Chapter 8. The transformation begins. 6 weeks into this training, something remarkable happened. The caravan was ambushed again. Different bandits. Similar numbers. But this time, Takshi was different. When the attack came, his mind didn't fragment. It locked. Primary objective: protect the merchants. Not impress the other samurai. Don't die, prove myself, worry about my technique. Just protect the merchants. His attention narrowed to a laser point. He saw the bandit approaching the carts. He moved. His sword cut through the space between threat and target. Complete. Another bandit. Another singular focus. Done. The fight lasted 2 minutes. When it ended, Takshi stood breathing steadily, sword clean, merchants safe. No scattered energy. No exhaustion. He felt alive. Kazuo approached, nodding with satisfaction. You stayed in one bucket. It was different, easier, like the energy flowed instead of leaking. Because it did. When attention is unified, energy is unified. You just experienced what most warriors take years to discover. Focused attention creates energy. Scattered attention destroys it. That night, Takshi couldn't sleep, but not from anxiety. From excitement. He had touched something real. Not theoretical. Not philosophical. Actually real. His entire life, he'd thought he was weak. Anxious. Prone to collapse under pressure. But the truth was simpler. He'd been scattering his energy. And scattered energy feels like weakness, anxiety, and collapse. The moment he gathered it into a single point, everything changed. Chapter 9. Return to the clan. The caravan completed its journey. Takshi returned to Lord Hideki's compound, transformed but unknown. The other samurai still saw him as the one who'd panicked during the first ambush. He didn't care. His attention wasn't going there. Primary objective: become the most focused warrior in the clan. For 3 months, Takshi practiced obsessively. Morning lock, 1 objective per day. Energy boundaries, guard attention ruthlessly. Attention return, notice and redirect immediately. Evening audit, track energy patterns. Other samurai noticed his strange behavior. He stopped joining gossip sessions. He stopped worrying about rank and status. He stopped reacting to provocations or seeking approval. Takeshi's become strange, they said. Cold. But they were wrong. He wasn't distant. He was present, just not with their dramas and distractions. His attention was locked on mastery. The breakthrough came during a formal duel challenge. A senior samurai named Ryo, proud and skilled, challenged Takshi publicly, a test of dominance in the hierarchy. Old Takshi would have panicked. Worried about losing face. Obsessed over Ryo's reputation. New Takshi simply showed up. The duel began. Ryo attacked with elaborate technique. Flashy strikes designed to intimidate. Takeshi's mind was quiet. 1 bucket, this opponent. This moment. This opening. He saw it instantly. Ryo's energy was scattered across 3 objectives, winning impressively, maintaining his reputation, demonstrating superiority. 3 buckets. 3 attention points. 3 energy leaks. Takshi had one. The opening appeared. Takshi moved. Not with flashy technique. With absolute presence. His strike was clean, simple, undeniable. Ryo fell. The watching samurai were silent, shocked. Ryo was ranked 5th in the clan. Teichi was barely ranked at all. Lord Hideki himself had been watching. He stepped forward, studying Teichi with new eyes. Remarkable. Teichi, you've changed. What happened? I learned to stop leaking energy, my lord. And there, in front of the assembled samurai, Teichi taught what Kazuo had taught him, the law of energy, attention management, the practice of singular focus. Lord Hideki listened intently. When Teichi finished, the lord smiled. You've discovered what separates legends from ordinary warriors. Most samurai train the body and sword. You've trained the mind and attention. That's rare, valuable. He turned to his retainers. Teichi is promoted to my personal guard. He will also begin training others in this. What did you call it? Energy Mastery. Chapter 10, Teaching the Law. Teichi became a teacher. Not of sword technique, there were masters better than him at that. He taught attention management and energy discipline. His students were skeptical at first. They wanted advanced sword kata, secret techniques, tactical knowledge. Instead, Teichi made them sit and watch candle flames. This is ridiculous, one student complained. I joined the samurai class to fight, not meditate. Then fight yourself, Teichi replied. Because that's your real enemy, not the opponents you'll face in combat. The scattered, undisciplined, weak mind that will make you collapse when pressure comes. He made them track their attention for a day. Their reactions mirrored his own months earlier shock at how much energy they wasted on nothing. One student, a talented young warrior named Hiro, was particularly resistant. My attention is fine, Hiro insisted. I can focus when it matters. Then tomorrow, Teichi said, we spar. But with one rule. Every time your attention leaves the present moment, every time you think about winning, looking good, or anything except this exact exchange, you must tell me. They sparred. Within 30 seconds, Hiro called out. My attention left. What were you thinking? That the other students were watching. That I needed to impress them. So your energy went to their opinions instead of my sword. Again. They continued. Hiro called out 12 more times in 3 minutes. Worrying about Teichi's next move. Remembering a previous mistake. Calculating how to end the match quickly. Judging his own performance. Feeling embarrassed about struggling. Wondering how much longer they'd spar. By the end, Hiro was exhausted despite minimal physical exertion. Do you see it now? Teichi asked. You're fighting yourself more than you're fighting me. 13 different energy leaks in 3 minutes. No wonder you're tired. Hiro sat heavily, breathing hard. So what do I do? Same thing I did. Train your attention like you train your sword. Every day. Without exception. Chapter 11, The Siege. 6 months into Teichi's new role, Lord Hideki's compound was attacked. A rival daimyo, Lord Yoshida, brought 300 soldiers to siege the compound. Lord Hideki had 200 defenders. The odds were against them. In the war room, panic spread among the generals. They discussed a dozen strategies simultaneously, their attention fragmenting across impossible scenarios. We could request reinforcements, but they are 3 days away. What if we negotiate surrender? Maybe the night raid could. The east wall is vulnerable. Lord Yoshida might accept tribute. Lord Hideki raised his hand for silence. He looked at Teichi. What does your energy law say about this situation? Teichi stepped forward. My lord, right now everyone's attention is scattered across 12 different possibilities. That means our energy is divided into 12 weak streams. Meanwhile, Lord Yashida's attention is unified. Take the compound. One stream. All his energy flowing in one direction. So how do we respond? By choosing one primary objective and committing completely. No backup plans. No divided attention. One bucket. Full energy. What objective? Takshi pointed to the map. Hold the main gate. That's the only entry point for siege weapons. If we hold it for 3 days, reinforcements arrive. Everything else, the walls, the supplies, our fears about the outcome, those are distractions. One objective, hold, gate. Lord Hideki studied the map, then looked at his generals. You heard him. Our entire focus is the gate. Not the walls. Not negotiation. Not escape plans. The gate. Nothing else exists. He turned to Takshi. You'll command the gate defense. Over the next 3 days, Takshi applied everything he'd learned about energy mastery to warfare. Day 1. Lord Yashida's forces attacked the gate with battering rams. Takshi's defenders held position. But Takshi noticed his soldiers' attention scattering. Some worried about their families inside the compound. Some imagined what would happen if they failed. Some focused on how tired they were. Some compared themselves to braver warriors. Each scattered thought weakened the defense. Takshi moved among them, bringing their attention back. Not tomorrow. Not the outcome. This arrow. This wall. This moment. That's all. When a soldier's mind wandered to fear, Takshi's voice cut through. Where's your attention? The gate, sir. Is the gate here or in your fears? Here, sir. Then be here. By evening, the gate still held. Day 2. The attacks intensified. Fire arrows. Scaling ladders. Relentless pressure. Soldiers began to tire, not just physically but mentally. Fatigue makes attention scatter. Scattered attention accelerates fatigue. A vicious cycle. Takshi implemented rotation protocols. Not based on physical exhaustion, but on attention capacity. If your mind starts fracturing, you rest. If your attention is unified, you fight. Energy state determines deployment, not physical state. This was revolutionary. Commanders traditionally rotated based on hours served. Takshi rotated based on mental clarity. Soldiers who could maintain singular focus fought longer than physically stronger soldiers whose minds scattered. The data was undeniable. By evening, the gate still held. Day 3. The final push. Lord Yashida committed everything to breaking through. Takshi's defenders were exhausted. Supplies running low. Morale teetering. In the pre-dawn darkness, Takshi gathered his soldiers. 50 men who'd held against overwhelming numbers for 2 days. Today, reinforcements arrive. But only if we hold until noon. 6 more hours. Can you give me 6 hours of absolute presence? He paused. Not 6 hours of fighting. 6 hours of attention. Your body will do what it's trained to do. Your sword will cut. Your arms will block. That's automatic. What I need is your mind. Here, now, this gate, this moment. 6 hours of one bucket. He looked at each man. Everything else, your fear, your exhaustion, your family, your future, put it down. Just for 6 hours. Put it all down and be here completely. Can you do that? They nodded. Something had shifted in them over these 3 days. They'd experienced the power of unified attention. They knew it was real. The final assault came at dawn. 200 soldiers against 50. And those 50 were completely present. Not fighting for honor or glory or even survival. Just defend this gate. This moment. This strike. Their energy was unified. Lord Yashida's soldiers, despite outnumbering them 4 to 1, couldn't break through. Because numbers mean nothing against focused energy. At noon, horns sounded. Lord Hideki's reinforcements arrived from the north. Lord Yashida, seeing the new forces, withdrew. The siege was over. The gate had held. Chapter 12. The Recognition. Lord Hideki personally thanked each defender. When he reached Takeshi, he stopped. You didn't just hold the gate. You proved a principle that will change how we train every warrior in this clan. He addressed the assembled soldiers. What Takeshi taught you these 3 days: presence, attention, energy mastery. This is now core training. Not optional. Core. Because we just witnessed 50 focused minds defeat 200 scattered ones. Lord Hideki turned back to Takeshi. I'm making you master of mental discipline. You'll train every samurai in attention management. This becomes as fundamental as sword technique. Takeshi bowed, but said nothing. His attention wasn't on the honor or promotion. It was on the work ahead. Chapter 13. The Legacy. 10 years passed. Takeshi's teachings spread throughout Lord Hideki's forces and eventually to other clans. The samurai of Lord Hideki's clan became known for something unusual. They won battles they should lose. Not through superior numbers or weapons, but through superior attention. One focused warrior defeated 3 scattered ones. Not sometimes. Consistently. The principle became known as Takeshi's Law. Energy flows where attention goes. Master your attention, master your energy. Master your energy, master your life. But Takeshi's greatest student was unexpected. Her name was Akiko, daughter of a merchant. Women weren't samurai, but Lord Hideki had become progressive under Takeshi's influence. If attention and energy are the real weapons, the Lord had said, then gender is irrelevant. Akiko came to training skeptical and angry. Her family had been killed during a raid. She wanted revenge. She wanted to become deadly. I don't want meditation and candle watching, she told Takeshi on the first day. I want to kill the men who murdered my family. Takeshi regarded her calmly. And with your current energy state scattered by grief, fragmented by rage, bleeding attention to vengeance, how long would you last against trained warriors? I don't care. I just want. You want revenge. They want survival. Your attention is split between past pain and future vengeance. Theirs is unified on the present moment. They'll kill you in seconds. Your family's deaths will mean nothing. Is that what you want? Akiko glared at him, tears forming. Then what should I want? Focus, clarity, presence. Become so utterly master of your attention that when you finally face those men, they are not fighting a grieving girl. They are facing the unified force of absolute presence. That's how you honor your family. Not with scattered rage, but with focused power. Something in his words landed. Akiko began training. Chapter 14. The Ultimate Test. 3 years later, Akiko faced the Ronin who'd killed her family. She tracked them to a mountain village. 5 men, drinking in a tavern, laughing about their raids. Old Akiko would have rushed in, blinded by rage, Energy scattered across vengeance, grief, and fury. New Akiko waited. Observed. Let her attention settle into singular focus. One objective. Justice for my family. Not revenge. Not proving herself. Not satisfying her rage. Focused. She entered the tavern at sunset. The 5 Ronin noticed her immediately, a woman, alone, wearing swords. Their leader, the one who'd struck down her father, laughed. Lost, girl. This isn't a place for. You killed Merchant Takiro 3 years ago. His wife. His sons. His daughter lived. I am that daughter. The laughter died. The Ronin stood, hands moving to swords. So you've come for revenge? 5 against 1. Brave. Stupid, but brave. Akiko's attention was a laser. Not on all 5 men. On the present moment. On the opening when it appeared. I've come for justice. If you surrender and face Lord Hideki's judgment, you live. If you fight, you die. Choose. The leader sneered. Big words for him. He attacked, skilled. But Akiko's attention was unified. She saw the strike before it came. Not through prediction, through presence. Complete awareness of this moment meant seeing what was emerging. She moved. Her blade flowed through the space where the opening existed. Lethal. The leader fell. The other 4 rushed her simultaneously. 4 opponents. 1 attention. But that 1 attention was undivided, absolute, total. Akiko didn't fight for people. She fought the moment. Each moment. Completely present. Completely aware. Her energy didn't scatter across 4 concerns. It poured through single points of action, one after another, seamlessly. Within 30 seconds, 3 more Ronin were down. The last one dropped his sword, trembling. How? You're just present. While you were scattered across fear, shock, and attachment to staying alive, I was here. Completely. That's the difference. She bound him, delivered him to Lord Hideki's justice, and returned to the training hall. Takshi was waiting. You've mastered it. I've understood it, Akiko corrected. Mastery is a lifetime path. Takshi smiled. Now you're ready to teach. Chapter 15, The Modern Application. Years later, as Takshi grew old, a young samurai asked him, Master, this law of energy, does it only apply to combat? Takshi laughed. Combat is just the laboratory where we test the principle. But the principle applies to everything. Every moment. Every choice. Every life. He continued. A merchant scatters his attention across 20 ventures, makes no profit in any. A farmer focuses completely on 1 crop, feeds his village. A student tries to learn 10 things simultaneously, masters none. A craftsman dedicates full attention to 1 skill, becomes legendary. But master, the world demands we juggle many things. No, the world tests whether you understand the law. Weak minds try to hold everything. Strong minds choose what matters, give it complete attention, then move to the next thing. Not everything at once. 1 thing deeply, then another thing deeply. The young samurai frowned. But what about balance? Don't we need to balance work, family, health, all of it? Balance doesn't mean equal attention to everything simultaneously. That's not balance. That's fracture. Real balance is giving complete attention to what's in front of you. When you're with family, be completely with family. When you're training, be completely training. When you're working, be completely working. That's balance, complete presence in each domain, not partial presence in all domains. So the law is actually simple. Simple, not easy. The principle is, energy flows where attention goes. Control attention, control energy. Control energy, control results. Takes paused. Most people live their entire lives without understanding this. They wonder why they are always exhausted despite accomplishing nothing. They blame circumstances, other people, bad luck. They never look at where their attention goes. They never see the 1,000 energy leaks bleeding them dry every day. And those who do understand, they become what the world calls exceptional. But they are not exceptional. They're just not bleeding energy. When everyone else is operating at 20% capacity because of scattered attention, someone at 80% looks like a genius. They're not. They're just present. Chapter 16, The Final Teaching. On his deathbed, Teichi gathered his students. His body was failing, but his mind was clear focused, as always, on the present moment. I'm going to tell you the secret within the secret. The law you know is, energy flows where attention goes. But there's something deeper. He looked at each student. Where does attention go? Why does it scatter? Why is it so hard to control? No one answered. Because attention flows to what you value. And most people don't know what they actually value. They think they value success, but they spend attention on distractions. They think they value family, but they spend attention on work. They think they value growth, but they spend attention on comfort. Your attention reveals your true values, not your stated values, your true ones. If you want to know what someone actually values, don't listen to their words. Watch where their attention goes. He coughed, continued. So here's the final teaching: to master energy, master attention. To master attention, clarify values. To clarify values, face truth. What truth, master? That you're dying. Right now. Every moment is death of that moment. Every day brings you closer to the final day. This isn't morbid. It's liberating. When you truly accept impermanence, you stop wasting attention on trivial things. You become ruthless about where your energy goes. Because you know, limited time, limited attention, limited energy. What matters? Really? For me, Teichi said softly, what mattered was this: presence. Teaching others to be present. That's where my attention went for 40 years. That's where my energy flowed. And now, facing death, I have no regrets. Because I gave my energy to what I truly valued. His eyes closed. You'll die too. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe in 50 years. But you'll die. The question is, what will your attention have created? Where will your energy have gone? Will you die having scattered yourself across 1,000 meaningless things? Or having poured yourself completely into what matters? Choose now, not later. Now, because now is all you have. Those were his last words. Conclusion, your choice. Teichi's story isn't just history. It's a mirror. Right now, reading this, your attention is here. But where has it been today? Where will it go when you finish reading? You have the same energy Teichi had. The same attention. The same choice. Will you scatter it? Leak it through 1,000 cracks. Spread it so thin across so many concerns that you accomplish nothing despite constant exhaustion. Or will you gather it? Focus it. Pour it into what actually matters. The samurai law of energy isn't complicated. Energy flows where attention goes. Right now, you're bleeding energy. I know because everyone is. The modern world is designed to fracture your attention. Social media, notifications, news, entertainment, endless options, constant stimulation, all of it pulling your attention in different directions. Each pull is an energy leak. Most people will live their entire lives being drained dry by these leaks. They'll wonder why they're always tired, why nothing changes, why they never achieve what they're capable of. They won't realize they're fighting with scattered attention. 20 different concerns. 20 energy leaks. They're trying to fill 20 buckets and wondering why they're exhausted. You can be different. Not because you have special talent. Not because you have more time. Not because circumstances favor you. Because you understand the law. And you'll apply it. Your 30-day challenge. Here's what I want you to do. Not eventually. Starting tomorrow. Week 1, the audit. Track where your attention goes for 3 days. Count every distraction, every worry, every mental shift. Identify your energy vampires, what always drains you. Calculate what percentage of your attention is scattered vs. focused. Week 2, the lot. Choose one primary objective for each day. Write it down every morning. Commit until that objective is complete. Everything else is secondary. Practice returning attention to this objective every time it wanders. Week 3, the boundaries. Create 3 clear attention boundaries. Examples: I will not check my phone before 9 am. I will not engage in comparison. I will not rehearse conversations. When these patterns arise, immediately redirect. That's not where my energy goes. Week 4, the integration. Combine everything: morning lock, boundaries, attention return. Notice how much more energy you have. Notice how much more you accomplish. Notice how much clearer you feel. Do this for 30 days. Just 30 days. I promise you'll discover what takes you discovered. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're not incapable. You're just scattered. And the moment you gather yourself, your attention, your energy, your presence into a single point of focus, everything changes. If this story has opened your eyes to where your energy has been going, I need you to do 3 things. First, comment below with your biggest energy leak. What drains you most? Name it. Publicly. That's the first step to changing it. Second, subscribe to this channel. We're building a community of warriors who refuse to scatter themselves. Who choose presence over distraction. Who understand the ancient law and apply it to modern life. Third, share this with someone who's exhausted despite doing nothing. Someone who's struggling despite working hard. Someone who's scattered. They need this message. The samurai law of energy isn't just philosophy. It's practical. It's measurable. It's real. Master Nobunaga was right. Energy flows where attention goes. Control your focus. Control your power. Scatter your focus. Scatter your life. Teichi proved it in feudal Japan. Akiko proved it in her quest for justice. And you can prove it in your life. Right now, today. The weak mind collapses under pressure because its energy is scattered across 1,000 concerns. The strong mind endures because its energy flows in one direction. Which mind will you build? The choice is yours. The law is given. The path is clear. Be present. Stay focused. Guard your attention like your life depends on it. Because it does. See you in the next lesson, warrior.